Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Decided to go into pre-law, then journalism, and with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. You will fail at some point in your life, accept it. You will lose. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. You will embarrass yourself, you will suck at something. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. I didn't quit. I prayed. I prayed. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break.
Tanika Shanetta, the plus-size doll. Do you like to shop online but hesitate because of the uncertainty about sizing and the quality of some items? Have you came across an outfit that you love to rock, but girl, you want to know more about the company and how their items run first? I get it. Check out Tanika Shanetta, the plus-size doll on YouTube for the latest updates in plus-size fashion and styles. She does the reviews that you can use. Timing is of the essence, but she will reach out to any company if she's not already signed with them. And get that item or a similar item to try it on first and provide that honest review on sizing, quality, and shipping. She does it all and often can get a discount code exclusively for her subscribers. So subscribe now and shop with confidence knowing if you would size up, size down, or true to size. She also reviews wigs, bundles, hair products. Like I said, she does it all. Measurements are in the description as well as the contact information for business inquiries or collabs. So subscribe today to be a part of the dollhouse where everything is big, bold, and beautiful. The link is in the description box down below.
Hey family, how is everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing up. I know we're a little bit early. We had to get a lot of our ads or stuff in there, whether we get it or not, which I don't believe we will. But nevertheless, you guys, I just wanted to go over some of the things. Hopefully this person will show up. I sent them the link. I just called, no answer. So hopefully they show up and not got scared. You know, sometimes you give people a little bit of time, which I probably should have went live yesterday and just let it just go down. You guys understand what I'm saying? But we want awareness out there. So I was trying to reach out to the people, our family, and especially the ones that's down there in the Virginia area, so that they can hear the same thing I heard. And if not, you guys, we'll go over some interesting information. I've got information on the California City Boys, what's been going on there, and then we can really get into the conversation that I had with this particular person. If they don't show up, I'll just tell you what was said, and we'll just take it there, because you never know. Some people get nervous. I used to get nervous when we have speakers come on. I don't get nervous anymore. They either show up or they don't show up. It's okay. It's okay. We're here for Cody. That's it. Anyway, you guys, if you're new in the building, please let us know that you're new. If you see anybody in blue, they are our mods, and they are for you. They're to help you navigate through this channel, because we do have rules and regulations. If you didn't see the beginning, we go over those rules and regulations. Please do not put cursing words in the chat. If you need to curse and you need to get something out, call on in. The number will be put in the chat as we go through this conversation. This is the conversation room. Make sure, if you didn't do this, please do it now while we still got 3 minutes. Go out, hit the thumbs up, so that'll help our algorithm, help support, because this child is not getting no coverage, you guys. And guess whose fault it is? It's our fault. It's our fault. We'll go look at Gabby Petito. We'll go look at Cash, and we'll go look at Summer Wells, but we will not support when there's a child out there and nobody's talking about it. We're like, you know what? That child means something. And if it means something to you, hit the thumbs up, share the live, come back in here. If you share the live, let me know that you share the live. And we don't never know, because we have random gifts and we have random times that we give out tickets to our giveaway. We got a giveaway coming up, Christmas. I think it's around about July the 20th, you guys. Now, don't beat me down if it's not July the 20th, but it's the first weekend close to July the 20th. That is our Christmas in July. And all of our tickets that we have been accumulating from January, we got money, we got gift cards, we got dinner cards and things that we give away. And this is support channels, so that we can go in there. And when there's boots on the ground down there, and I can't get down there, and you guys can't get down there, we can help with little things like billboards. We can help with flyers. We can help with water. We can help with gas money, because people want to help, but they be like, I ain't got no gas. All right. I need the flyers. We can make the flyers. We can ship the flyers down there. We can do things like that. But the most important thing when you have a channel is to come on here and let it be aware, the awareness that we can put out there. So right now we're working on 3 channels that we put the awareness out there. So I'm hoping that people do show up. We've got 1 more minute. Hey, Carissa, thank you for the super chat. Carissa is in the building. I see the super chat pulled up on me really quick. Thank you for supporting this channel and supporting Warriors for Children. And it's cases like this where nobody wants to say nothing. Nobody ain't saying nothing. It's like, this child didn't even matter, you guys. It bothers me, and I wonder what we can do. So these are things that we can do, but there's more that we can do. We can do a line of action, or whatever they want to call it, and we need to start making those phone calls or whatever. Hold on for 1 minute. Okay, you guys. I'm sorry. It is now 5. Hey, we got Carissa in the building. She done gave a super chat. And like I said, you guys, this person been knowing. this person been knowing. There was another super chat. KCK, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and get on off into this. Carissa and
Thank you.
there we go.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So thank you guys for the super chat. Now, if I don't notice you and things get to rolling, whether our guest comes in or not, because I know that there is a difference in the time, but nevertheless, I expressed that to this particular person a couple of times, and we don't know. We don't know. But someone told me today, they said, what if they don't show? And I was like, surely they'll show up. Surely they show up. Why would they not show up? You guys understand what I'm saying? Why would they not show up? I mean, if you're saying exactly, Nancy says sharing is caring. I am going to definitely put the link in the chat if you guys ever want to come on up. And we need to speak on this baby. We just do. We need to speak on this baby. Nobody ain't saying nothing. They're waiting for a court date to come. Court will come up and it will go away, and everybody will get on the blaming game. And I'm gonna blame this person, blame that person. Why? Nobody's out there looking. I'm on the team that's looking for the baby. Hey, we can disagree about what you think and what you feel, or what your whole agenda is or whatever. But as long as you're looking for the baby, I'm on your team. I will be on your team. I will help you as much as I possibly can. But, anyway, it is 3 minutes after the hour 5. So anyway, yes, I want to thank everybody coming in here. I see Kenny Earl done came in here. How you doing, Kenny Earl? I see Diva in here. Thank you guys for showing up. The Terror Detective is in here. Cynthia Campbell, Loving God, Cheyenne Blue is in here. Woke the God is in here. We got Miss Queen B. I Santiago is in here. Brown Sugar is in here. Brown Sugar, I just sent your stuff off to you, so you'll get it. You never did send me your address, girl. I had to go through some stuff. We got Curl Small in the building. Yes, we do. Let me try to see some of the people. T-Star is in here. Sanja Watts, Mrs. Hunt. Pooh Bear's going to come in here in a minute. I just heard he's in the neighborhood, so you guys will probably see my grandson, the co-host, going to come in here for a minute. We got infamous truth tellers in the building and Loving God. I am going to get into some of the conversations. Zena's in here. Ruby Turner's in here. Diane Harris in here. The real Diane Harris is in the building. The other person was an imposter, you guys. I just want you guys to know. So when you're talking to Diane Harris, you're talking to the real one right there. Tina Paris is in the building. Loving God. Danae Crowell. She says she still calls me Danae. Timmy Vibes is in the building. Avalanche Steel is in here. How you doing, KCK? Thank you for the super chat. We got Marie Perkins in here. Okay. We got Wanda Bellsme in here. Okay. All right. We got Soldier Girl in here. Okay. Avalanche Steel. Teresa Anderson is in the building. Okay. Carissa Brown. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Nancy LaRose is in the building. Thank you. And that's as far as it go up. Pretty K is in the building. Thank you, Pretty K, for showing up. Thank you. I love when you guys support Marita Honesty and Marlita. Hey, I see you in the building. Marlita, how are you? Hope I said your name right. Wanda Lenore, how are you? Thank you for showing up. Thank you. Okay, let me just talk about a little bit. I left my notes upstairs again. I've been so busy, you guys. Natasha is in the building, and she done put up a super chat. And Natasha, I got your thing right here. Girl, you got this ticket, and she done put up 3. You got this ticket, and bam, you in there, Natasha. You got your 5. There you go. Natasha, 938-294. Natasha, I told you I keep count. So there you go, Natasha. I got you in the building. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to go upstairs and get my notes real quick. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why this person has not showed up. You see what I'm saying? This is why people don't take people seriously. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of update on the California City Boy case real quick. That is, and then we're going to get into the conversation on Cody Bigsby case, okay? Maybe they got scared. I don't know. But anyway, I'll tell you, I actually got a recording of the whole conversation, but I'm not going to share it with you because, you know, it's no big deal, but he didn't say anything that I can't say. But I'll share with you what was said. But on the California City Boys, they put out a report that when they went to court, not only they got ready for the judge to sign the protective order, they also set up a date for the readiness. And I was like, well, what is a readiness? I did not know what a readiness is. Let me go into here and find you what a readiness for court means. Because I was like, see, we get into some stuff we don't know. I hear my grandson that showed up. My grandson that showed up. Oh. Hold on, you guys.
Let me hit you in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Give us 5 minutes. Let's see the co-host. Pooh Bear. Where you at, Pooh Bear? Where you at? I don't see you. You looking at all your toys and stuff. Come here. What's going on?
Go see Grandma.
What's going on with your hair?
My mama fixed it.
Oh, wow. Come here. Let's say hi to everybody. Your mama fixed your hair?
Uh-huh.
You say hi.
Hi.
So he got all these braids. Oh, my goodness. And she put rubber bands in there, too.
Yeah.
You say hi, Sonia Watts is in the building.
I just say hi.
You did?
Uh-huh.
All right. You been good?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know I wanted to see you. You come over because your toys, I don't know what we're going to do about your toys. Give me some sugar.
Grandma.
Can I have some sugar?
Huh?
Can I have some sugar? I love you. I love you, big boy. You know we're going to have to go to All-Star Sports.
Yeah.
Go up there and see Papa. Y'all okay?
Yeah, we got a little time. We got to go pick up this dog today.
Okay.
Get to bring it home.
All righty. All right. I just wanted to see you.
Yeah, we were supposed to come by the other day, but I got super busy, man.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you later. You looking good.
Oh, thank you. What's going on? Good another day.
He said, what's going on? Okay, so we're going to talk about the readiness of a hearing.
Come on.
And so they're going to have the readiness of the hearing for the California City Boys, you guys, on May the 13th. And a readiness hearing, let me share with you what they're saying. The court will hold a readiness hearing, known in some cases as an unbiased hearing. That's sometimes between a few weeks to a few days before the schedule of the trial date. The purpose of this hearing is to address and resolve the pre-trial motions, review the discovery, and take care of any other pre-trial matters. Okay. So when they say that they're going to do the readiness hearing, that's what that means. And their jury trial for the California City Boys, I'm talking about Jacqueline and Trezell, they will be going to court May the 23rd. They are going to trial both of them together. I want everybody to know that. Both of them together. And it's going to start at 8:31. They already put in the writing that we cannot record it. We may not be able to stream live. I want everybody to know we cannot stream live, but we can come back and we can talk about it. It cannot be recorded. It is in the, I guess, explaining what you can do and what you can't do. Okay. And then it says, okay. Not only that, I want to share this with you guys too. When a child is reported missing, they are trying to get a plan where other searcher groups can search for the missing child. Exactly. That would be great. That's something we're going to talk about. Good thing that you brought that into the conversation, because we're going to talk about that when we're talking about the Cody case. Let me share with you one other thing on the California City Boys case, you guys. They gave the prosecuting side gave over to the defense side 2 terabytes of information. 2 terabytes of information. I know you guys are saying, terabytes? What is a terabyte? Okay. What is a terabyte? I had something sitting here, and I think it's on my other phone, but I want to share with you. Terabytes of information. They're saying 2 terabytes of information. Once you Google what a 2 terabytes, 1 terabyte is, they say that you cannot even use in a month 1 terabyte. I mean, and that's you streaming all day. You got 400 emails a day for a month. You gaming 5 hours every day for a month. You just literally going live, streaming everybody in your house for a whole month. That's just 1 terabyte. So they gave 2 terabytes of information over to the defense side. And I'm going to tell you something about that. And I'm not trying to be picky or choosy or anything, but what I want to tell you is, when I was fighting a big case through a big company, I don't want to say the company's name because people be, ooh-wee, but it was a huge company. What they normally do, and it is a part of a tactic, they bombard them with a whole bunch of information because they're trying to hide information inside of information. Oh, they give it to you, but it'll take your whole team the next 4 or 5 months to go through it. You feel what I'm saying? They do that because they're trying to, and that's a good thing. Thank you, Santiago. Santiago. Thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you. And we would shout that out. Santiago in there. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing that they do that, because when they get ready to go to court, they've got so much information that they got to go through. They're wondering, what is they going to talk about? What is they going to come up with? Well, the information, you got it, but you got to find it. It's like a needle in a haystack. They gave them so much information. It's like, okay, all these phone calls, they just give them everything. Here's everything. And you figure out what we're going to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's coming up. They gave them the information. They asked the judge for the discovery. They gave them the information, and now they got to go through it. But they're saying that they said 171 hours of information a month. So you're talking about not 1 month, but 2 months of streaming all day, of having 400 videos, gaming, and all this other stuff. It's just 200 emails, the equivalent of just staying on live all day long. Everybody in your house all day long. This is what they do all day long. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of information. When I say a lot of information, you're not going to be able to go through that information in 3 or 4 months. And if you do, you definitely not going to find what I'm, what I trying to hide. Okay, so I wanted to let you guys know that, and we're going to get into the topic of the Cody Bigsby case. I want to thank San Diego for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. And thank Diva. I think that says Diva 19XXD Jones. Thank you. We appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for coming on in here and supporting, because we want to know what's going on with Cody Bigsby. This is funny how they just set me up. But nevertheless, I'm going to tell you guys what's going on down there in Virginia, what I was told. You know what? This is weird. This is weird.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want you guys to know, if you just donated in the super chat, you will get tickets. I know you guys don't come in here all the time, so I will prepare those tickets right now. On July, you have to be here. You have to be present. But once you be present, hopefully Freddie wrote down the other two. I was being kind of a little busy, but Santiago, I'll write yours down, because Santiago, who was the other two, you guys? Please let me know, because I got a lot of stuff on my mind and I'm hearing stuff upstairs too. But Santiago, here's your 4 tickets right here. And you come July the 20th, and we'll announce it somewhere on our community board around about in July, you guys. We're going to have the giveaway. And once we have the giveaway, you'll be winning. We're not going to give gifts away, because we usually have motorcycle bikes and things of that nature. We're not going to do that because I don't want to do all the shipping and handling. What we will do is we're going to give money cards, gift cards, Visa cards. You guys understand? People's like, cash app you. We're going to cash app you. We're going to play the little games. We're going to pick names out. We're going to play the games and stuff. And we're going to cash app you the money so you can have it instantly. And then not only that, and then I can mail off the gift cards all in one day instead of taking 2 or 3 weeks to do it. D Diva, okay, you're getting close. You've got 2 in there. It's $5 and above, but we've got your name on here, D Diva 19. Let me put that on here. So here'd be your ticket, and so you're starting to get your ticket. And I think it was KCK was in there, and there was a Carissa, but I can't remember how much it was. I know it was KCK and Carissa. But I can't remember how much it was. But I'll just put one in there for right now. KCK, this is your ticket, 938-384. And then Carissa, here's your ticket right here. Okay. 938-385. All right. Okay. So I'm going to put those tickets right here. And okay, you guys, let's get off into the topic of Cody Bigsby. Okay. Now, let me tell you who's supposed to have came to and spoke to us. This is terrible that they didn't show up, because I have been working all day to get people involved. into knowing. And they probably got scared because they know, I know for a fact they came to the channel because I sent them a link and they made a comment on our last live to someone in the chat. So they know how to get here, even in the chat. And they know my number because I just called them. And I sent them a link. So they could have got busy. I don't know. But I talked to BLM 757 himself. I know you guys go, oh, but here's the thing, you guys. Let me share with you. It was the sister, wasn't it? Nope. Sister's wife. Nope. It was 757. BLM 757. I think his name is Zachariah or something like that. Zena, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to throw this in there right now. Zena. Right here. Zena, this is yours. 938-386. 938-386. Zena. Tara said, oh, heck no. He goes by many names. Yes, he does. But here's the thing. I called him up. Please let me speak on him, SP. You can call in if you want. But here's the thing, you guys. You know what this young man told me? Let me tell you what he told me. Since he's not here, I don't mind saying what he told me. Like I said, the whole conversation is recorded, so I'm not worried. 757 is not a reliable source anyway. Well, I just read that, you guys. I'm not speaking that. That's what Tara Detective said. But here's, wish I could do more. All you do is appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you, Zena. Thank you. Here's the thing, you guys. Cheyenne said, he's a fraud. Here's the thing, you guys. They're still down there. Who's looking for Cody? Tell me who's looking for Cody. SP, I was one as well. Who's looking for Cody? You know what he told me? He told me after 5 days, the police, the FBI done pulled out, the police done pulled out. Nobody's down there looking for Cody. Now, I know the last thing I seen what the police was doing, they put up some billboards. They put up the face of Cody, and they might, I don't know if the billboards had the face of the father on there, but they put up the face of Cody and said, hey, we want to know some information. Have you seen this child? Da, 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 da. But anybody else looking for Cody down there? Tell me. I'm about to hit the link. Okay, go ahead. Let me, you don't have to find it. Come on. And this is what I tell people. You know, I'm not worried about a person's personality. It was a little aggressive when we were talking, but here's the thing. And I told him this. I said, just keep it about Cody. You know, let's just keep it about Cody. I had a chance to ask him questions about, okay, why you guys didn't ask questions to the mayor? You know what he told me? He said, the mayor said he don't speak on any of the children. He didn't speak on Noah. He didn't speak on this other case, and he got to naming cases. He said he never speak on any of the cases. And I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. He also told me, I'm just going to have to, you guys going to have to, like I said, he also told me that he got to go into the house. Corey's in them house. Now, like I said, this is from his mouth, not mine. He said terabytes. Judy said terabyte is. Okay. He said the house was not in shambles. It wasn't that you had to walk over anything. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't filthy. It was well kept. Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's get it.
Hey, SP.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Okay, what's on your mind?
So thank you for having me up. And
thank you for coming up.
Thank you. I've been following your commentary on the City Boys and especially the Cody Bixby case. I'm originally from the Hampton Roads area. Okay. I no longer reside there. I am a non-attorney advocate, and I've done a lot of legal advocacy for people there. I've had some experiences with, we call him Aubrey. He goes by several other names, Jafari, and a few other names that people may know him by. He calls himself Black Lives Matter 757 because he legally cannot say that he is in any shape, form, or fashion connected to the National Black Lives Matter. That is because his activism is very dangerous. He's gotten people locked up. He is not a mediator. He does not work towards how can I say this? He doesn't try to mediate or act. His activism is not to come to a common ground. It's always to incite or cause violence and further upset. What I won't take away from Aubrey, he has been daily on the ground looking for Cody. I won't take that from him.
Okay.
His meetings with the chief and publicly, his behavior shows that that's his behavior in every single thing he ends up becoming involved in. Right. And no one wants to work with him like that. It's not that the FBI and the police have pulled out. The police chief has said many times, it is already evident what happened to Cody.
Right.
And they can't tell us everything.
Right.
And the FBI is still very much involved, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the FBI is still involved in investigating the case. There's things that they can't disclose to us, of course, you know. Right. And so would a police chief tell people stop looking for a child? If I was a police chief, even if I assumed or I knew or the evidence showed me what happened, you still don't have a body. So of course I'm not going to tell you to stop looking. Right. Of course I'm going to, but the police resources and things, they need their resources to keep going with the investigation. And because the community is still very much involved in searching and things like that, I think they're doing well with letting the community continue to search, and they follow up on the leads that the community is bringing forth. A lot of people want to criticize the police department and the police chief, and I think I came on your show before and I gave a brief history about the police chief being the very first Black police chief, and there's things internally that may be going on that we're not aware about. He had to overcome all of those obstacles. I still feel that he's a great chief. He's doing a great job, and he's being as transparent as he possibly can because there's still an open investigation here. If he tells too much, it could be where the whole entire case gets thrown out. And we don't want that. Everybody wants justice for Cody. So to hear that it was Black Lives Matter calling in.
Well, he was supposed to actually come up on the panel, or he could call in. He could do any one. And that's fine if he backed out. But, you know, but see, what people don't understand is I keep my mind open for all information. I'll sit there, something just flying hair or something flying in the air. But I'll sit there and listen, because to be honest with you, something that he did say kind of make me go, you know, okay, I hear what you're saying. And that is, first of all, one was nobody's looking for Cody. And everybody's saying there, you know, there are people looking for Cody. But okay. Well, we don't see the police. We do see Water Team Inc. still out there. Actually, Water Team Inc. and him, I can't remember what Aubrey, whatever you want to call him. I just call him BLM 757. He's still looking for Cody. He's out there still looking for Cody. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, where's the action? I don't have to like you, and
Mhm.
you can stir up some mess, but sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Here's the thing: the things that he said that they found, why the police didn't find them. See, because sometimes when your mind is closed, because you want this to be true, you want this to be true, so you're not looking at nothing else. That's kind of true. Because remember, the police chief Mark said, he says, "Oh, if if I mean he's down here willingly, you know, we're not stepping on his rights, and if he needs an attorney, we would give it, we will honor it, and there's nothing going on, and then come finding out you didn't honor it. You
And
did.
he didn't have to tell us that.
No,
That
he didn't have to
that
tell us
blue
that.
that blue veil is so deep and so thick that none of us would have known that. He could have kept
Exactly.
going with that same story, but being that he was transparent, you got to think about when you're in a position of leadership and you have a team around you. And I'm sure you have, I see people commenting here on your behalf that's a part of your team. You trust them and you've delegated certain tasks to them. The
Yeah.
same with the police chief. He trusted his detectives to follow the rules of engagement. If someone was to ask for an attorney, you give them that right. The chief told the truth. Corey did go there on his own voluntary will. It wasn't until the fourth hour he says, "Now I want an attorney," and that was only after he was presented with the information that came back from the polygraph, and him and the detective got into it. But prior to that happening, he didn't ask for an attorney. So when the chief found it out, that again speaks highly to his character.
He
That
does.
he told us,
Right.
the police not spending time actively searching, that is not uncommon on a national level. They can't search but for so long, and they're leaving it to the community to continue to search. When the community calls and says, "Hey, I found bones," and they're animal bones, police officers show up. um I can't really speak to that, why the police aren't on the ground. Hampton is very small. The resources that they have the resources of the FBI and everything. And at this point, everyone's calling the Hampton police, but it's really the FBI that has superseded, and they're the ones investigating this case. So why aren't you calling the FBI to come out there and look at the things that you're finding? So now you still have crime going on in the city. You still have other things. You are exhausting your officers, and they're coming out. Um, I'm not a big fan of the police. Mind you, I'm a non-attorney advocate, but in this situation, the police have done a great job. Somebody's up there say Team Cody.
Yeah. Team Cody just came in the building.
Hello.
Hi, Team Cody.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing, Team Cody?
I'm fine. I just wanted to say it's more than just BLM out here searching.
Uh-huh.
Our search team is searching. We've been in DC. We went to Yorktown. We're searching Newport News area now. Also, Kay Coleman, she's out searching. Her and her friend Amber. Um, it's multiple people out here still searching. He just makes it for himself so he could get the clout and so that he could get himself out here and so he could get viewers and stuff. I feel
Well,
like he's working for the family. He's covering for the family. The
He has
family
given the
knows.
family theories and allegations to now try to use as defense theories for Corey. And that
Yeah.
started early on.
Yeah.
well,
As far as Corey's not wanting to be there voluntarily. And
okay, there's a freeze.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, you froze. Can you
Yeah,
hear
she
me?
froze.
Miss Blue. Okay,
okay,
good.
all
There
right.
she go.
Well, tell me this. If there's other teams out there, you saying there's other teams out there, where was everybody at when they had that hall town meeting? Where was everybody at?
A lot of people didn't know about it until the
Yep.
absolute last minute.
Yep. We
Um,
didn't know about it.
a lot of people did not know about it. And so I think that, that's the reason why it was not packed to capacity. That people they were finding out via social media, and they were finding out like within the hour of it
Yeah.
happening. And I don't live in the area, but I'm very well connected to the area through a lot of my advocacy and activism, and that's my hometown. So I personally like to do things behind the scene. I won't go out and search and things like that, because of my own personal preferences. But again, like I said, I won't take anything from Aubrey. He's out there looking for him. I wouldn't expect anything less of him if that's what he says that he's doing. However, he also causes a lot of trouble and strife between the community and the police.
Well, right, but people with different personalities, they might be a little aggressive, and sometimes you might need that aggressiveness. When I have a soldier in doing something for me, I have to send the correct one out there. I'm not going to send the one that's going to be submissive or whatever. I'm going to send the bear. I'm going to send someone that's going to be in your face, that's going to say, you're doing this wrong, and da 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 da, let's get this right or whatever. Because especially, and this is just something, I hope nobody don't take this personally, but especially women, sometimes when men is in authority, they look at women, and it seems like they hold on, we got you in there, we take you off of here. They seem to not take us seriously, and so they push us around and tell us what they want to tell us because they have this authority and they got this title and da 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 da. And we sit there, and you guys know, if you have teams and you worked around people, women are a little bit more vulnerable and humble to what you tell them. Now, this is what he said to me. He said, somebody's calling in. Okay. He said, which is true, only story we have heard is their story. So this could have been his chance to put it out there saying, okay, he said, SP, this man retired as an E7. Okay. He said, there's people that's ready to come to court if need be on his behalf. He says, the number one thing that we do forget, and I'm not on nobody's side. I'm all for Cody. But one thing that I cannot forget, and that is true, who I am and where I came from. So when somebody's rights is taken from them, that disturbs me, because that happened to that young man. But I have a son, I have grandsons, I have 18 brothers. No, we can't just look at that and go, because Cody, we look at it as a whole, because it messes with all of us. We're used to somebody taking us to jail and underneath the highway, and then when they see us again, we got blackened eyes. We don't know what's going on. Our family is saying, where's this person? And they got them talking about, oh, he's cooperating. And maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe it was. I don't know. What I'm saying is, when the rights was violated, that is very dangerous, especially to the black community.
I definitely agree with you. It is very dangerous. There were people I advocated for that spent 25 years in prison wrongly convicted because their rights were violated. I don't compare the two. I don't compare what happened to Cody is what happens to us as a collective, as Black people, because what happened with Corey, he voluntarily went down there. His rights were violated, but what length of time were they violated? And was it discovered? And it was. The moment someone said his rights were violated, you have a Black police chief that says, hey, I'm going to look into this. His rights weren't violated from the first day he was there. From the second day, it was really violated in the last hour when he was confronted, what I believe, and I could be wrong, he was confronted with the truth. And you have a person whose emotions are high, and they're saying, hey, no, you're not getting an attorney right now. Tell us right now what happened to this baby, because the lie detector is saying you're lying. I think emotions have run high. I don't think you could compare his violation to what happens to us collectively. Wrong still. I'm not taking up for it. It's still wrong. But I don't want
Mm-hmm.
people to confuse it with them being one and the same, because that's what they're trying to harp on to give Corey an out. Corey was the last person that seen his child alive. I have 5 children. If something happens to my 5 children, 3 are adults now, but the 2 minors that are in my home, I am 1000% responsible. Point blank,
Mm-hmm.
period. That happened on my watch. And so and then with him being a man and being a black man, I'm not here to help give him any more excuses. And I think Aubrey is trying to help the family come up with excuses. The family are not being truthful. And not saying they're not being truthful about what happened to Cody. I don't believe they know what happened to Cody, but they're not being truthful about their family dynamic. They're not being truthful about their family not being in touch with the brother. I have people that have come and told me in confidence as an advocate the history on both Corey's wife and Cody's mom. The wife just didn't report her domestic abuse situation with him,
Mm-hmm.
and Cody's mom did. Um, the wife went to court out of spite to say that she would bail him out because she was still pissed that he had been dealing with Dina. The children want to speak out and say things about their father's character and behavior, but the mom is not allowing them to. So
Yeah.
there was a family dynamic there that was toxic prior to Cody Bigsby coming up missing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I feel like the family is not being honest about. And so to cover up their toxic mess, they're taking up for Corey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, Team Cody, you got anything to speak on that? What she just said?
I mean, my scenario, I feel like the sister has something to do with it.
Mm,
Um, on the lease at the apartment complex, the only 2 people named that was on the lease was the kids, Cody and the sister.
mm,
And the sister has the key. So I feel like Cody left the kids by themselves. The sister came, and this is just my scenario. It's not what happened. This is just how I feel. But I feel like, she came in that night because she was so supposed to come help move. When she came in that night, Cody was the only child that was awake. So she took Cody and met her husband, her ex-husband, and they switched off. And when she gave him Cody, she thought that Corey would come in and call her. But instead, he panicked and called the police. And when he called the police got involved. Now the sister is stuck with Cody, and the husband is stuck with Cody. Don't know how to bring him back, because if she brings him back, that's abduction of a child. You're kidnapped a child.
right,
So you're going to be in trouble. So I
right,
feel like that's why she went and got a lawyer. That's why he refused the lawyer, because come on, he didn't know what was going on for real. I believe Corey is innocent. I believe Corey don't know what was going on at the time. But now that he got a lawyer, the lawyer spoke to him. The lawyer explained what the sister did, and I believe now that he knows he's going to cover for his sister. She works for Homeland Security. She has so many ways that she could hide this child. Not just that, the grandmother's missing too. The grandma was reported missing February 13th of this year.
right,
Like, it's so much to this whole story. It's so sketchy. Like, that's why she says Cody's okay. He's fine. That's why she keeps saying that. She keeps saying, why do you think he's dead? You know, I feel like we all need to apply pressure to the family. If you in DC area, wherever you at, they own houses in Indiana, Wisconsin, other places. Push these flyers. Apply pressure. If we everywhere listening to this on this platform, push the flyer. Get it out there. Don't forget, we got to be Cody's voice. Cody don't have a voice. You
right,
know, everybody got Corey's back. Everybody's going to court for Corey. Who was talking for Cody? The family's not. Us as a community family, we need to push pressure, apply pressure, and we need to have we need to be his voice.
So, Team Cody, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
You said you believe the sister Tandalia. You think you believe Cody has been kidnapped and not harmed, that she made no
Cody is still alive. I mean, I don't believe Cody is dead. I believe he is still alive. The way that search teams have tore up Hampton, Norfolk, Newport News, Yorktown, the surrounding area, we would have been found him. You know, if he was in the water, he would have been floated to the top. It takes 3 days for the oxygen to come out of a child's body to float. So somebody would have seen it. You know, it's very busy city where we are. So someone would have seen or found him by now.
So what do you have to say then to what the chief said, and he said it numerous times, that he's alluded that harm has came to Cody's way, that there's overwhelming evidence as to what happened to Cody in the house. Because what would be the reason? What is the incentive for Tandalia taking him?
To teach you a lesson. You keep leaving your kids home by themselves, something can happen. Now you about to move into a neighborhood where you're in a house. It's the difference to live in a house and a townhouse. Because a townhouse, you're connected to other neighbors. Regardless if you are watching that child or not, you just feel obligated to keep an eye on your neighbor. When you move into a house, he's not going to have that. So I feel like she was trying to teach him a lesson. She thought that he was going to come home and panic and call her because they're so close. And he didn't. He called the cops. Now the cops is involved. So
But
now
why
it's
wouldn't she take the other children?
because they were already asleep. They were still asleep. Cody was the only one that woke up.
So you don't believe that Cody was missing prior to the date that Corey is saying?
No,
Interesting.
I don't.
Because the reason I believe he's been missing before he said it. Cody had a birthday in January, a few days before he was reported missing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, the last photos you see of him are when the weather is warm. I would take my timeline back further than law enforcement and say he probably hadn't been seen since September to October. Um, because you don't have anyone that says that they have seen him. And if Tandalia was so close to her brother, or even had a close relationship with Cody, I can understand her wanting to take him, because I don't see a parent taking, or a person taking a child to say, oh, I want to teach you a lesson about keeping your kids home alone, but I'm only going to take one of the children.
Yeah, she just probably took the one, like, if your sister will come into your house, just say, and you left your kids by yourself, all the other kids are sleeping, only one is up wandering around. What would you do if you came home and just one of your kids was missing?
I I don't know. I had that situation happen to me as a young child. My
Mhm.
mom ran into the store and a cousin pulled up beside the car and seen that she had left us in the car by ourselves. And it was just me and my sister. And she took both of us and sat in the car and watched my mom come out to panic. But she gave her back a couple of minutes later. I
Yeah.
personally wouldn't do that to a family member. My sister, I know she wouldn't do that to me. We may argue about it, but she's not going to cause me to panic like that. And I don't think, like most people, that's not the thought that their mind would go to. And you got to think the FBI and the investigators, they study human behavior, and we
Yeah.
are creatures of pattern and habit. um I would say the only way I could accept that as being like a way, or even a thought process, is if there was an incentive for her to take him, like, I don't know, insurance policy, or he came with a check or something. But I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Yeah.
I had a few questions about what made you think um that
I
way.
didn't think. I mean, I think she had him in the area at the time when she first took him, and she
Mhm.
probably was thinking Corey was gonna call her, and he didn't. He panicked and called the cops. Like,
Oh
one
yeah.
of my kids is missing, not all of them, and called
Mhm.
the cops.
Wow. Okay. But I got a couple of questions. So, because you ladies are down there or close to there or the neighboring states, the first question is that young lady, what's her name, Tatiani or something?
Mhm.
Is that his real sister?
From what I've researched myself, it is his biological sister. I want to say they share the same mother. I'm not sure about the same mother and father. He does have another alleged sister or sibling or something out there that may be connected to him by his father. I don't know. Team Cody, do you know anything about that?
That's his sister. Yeah, that's
Okay.
his real sister. You know, like one of my kids is missing, not all of them.
Wow. We have Miss Val. She doesn't came up on the panel.
I got a couple of questions. So, because you ladies are down there or close to
Miss
there,
Val, you're gonna have
yeah,
to turn down.
dates.
Can you hear me?
The first question is,
Yeah, but I can hear the
that
backlash.
young lady, what's her name, Tatiani or something?
You gotta mute her YouTube on her other device. From what I've researched myself, it is his biological.
Yeah, it is you, Val. she's getting mad.
We can't hear you.
Let me see. She muted herself. Okay. Okay, I'm on mute. Can you hear me now? Yes. That's not me with the backlash. I just unmuted myself.
Yeah.
I can hear the backlash.
That's not me. We only hear it when you come on. Let me mute you.
Ask her, did she have it playing on her TV? Because I had to turn it off. Like I
She told me that last time, but see, my TV is right there. My TV is off. She told me last time I had to cut my TV off. The TV is not on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still me. Is it the location? No, it's not the location.
We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get off because I made sure the TV.
It could be in the background. You know, if you're on your phone.
Okay. I hear you very good right now. Yeah, I'm in the living room.
Muted herself.
It's who muted this up?
Okay, I'm on mute.
Nobody. Whoever that is.
That's not me with the backlash. I just unmuted my.
Muted. Okay. I muted you, and it is you, Val. But you call in. I'm sorry.
Ask her, did she have it playing on her TV? Because I had to turn it off. Like
no, my TV is off.
She told me that last time. My TV is right there.
My TV is off. My TV is
she
off.
She told me last time I had to cut my TV off.
It's something you might have a recording on your device or something, but okay.
Is the location?
Well, I'll try to call in. You said come through StreamYard, so that's what I came through.
The location.
Just call in. I'll accept your call.
All right. Okay, well let me get off.
Bye-bye. Sorry.
It could be in the background. You know, if you're on your phone.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her call in. I'm gonna find out why her thing is doing that, because it's something she's doing. Maybe she's on the computer.
Maybe.
I don't know, but I know she's got something she wants to speak on. So the other question, while we're waiting for her to call in, the other question I have, okay, so I asked you guys why nobody showed up at the team meeting thing. And then the sisters, their kin, and the sister having a good job like that. But I do notice that Mark Torbert keeps saying that it's no mystery what happened to this kid. There's no mystery, he says. So evidently, and this is just the way I see it, they came out of the house with a lot of bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I asked BLM 757 how was the house, he said the house was speaking span. The house was clean.
Well, that's not what they reported. Even in the early stages of the news and the police being interviewed was the condition of the house. And I wouldn't expect it to be spick and span if you have a 5-year-old, a child that just turned 4, and a set of twin babies. That's unreasonable to say that the house was spick and span. And not only did the chief said that it's no mystery to what happened, but he also said that the phase or the stage of the investigation has moved more to a recovery stage. That's very telling. That's information you don't typically get out of police chiefs. He's been very, very transparent. And he even said, I probably told too much. And I would, from my professional position, I would agree. He did tell too much, because most police chiefs would lead people to believe that it's still an investigation, that they're still, they don't know what's going on, because that will then cause more leads to keep coming in. When you kind of already put it out there what your hand is, then you risk the more information coming in from a police standpoint. So for him to still say that right now, they're really just trying to recover a body.
Right.
And we can say that off of there. I don't believe that Cody is or has been kidnapped from anyone. And I also believe that the mother is not speaking out because she's already been contacted by the FBI with the evidence that they believe has happened. So she doesn't want to look like a fool to be out there, for it to come out later. Hey, you were already told that this is what happened,
Right.
And for him to say that, that's a very, very strong statement to make. That means that they have overwhelming evidence of some injury. And we've all watched Law and Order and things like that. We know about luminol and, blood splatters and things. And now they can measure the blood splatter to even tell what part of the body was, the blood was coming from. So I personally don't believe that he's with us, and that the search teams are important. The people that are out there doing the work, there are multiple search teams out there doing the work. And I believe at this point it's a recovery, and we need them doing the work.
Right.
Okay.
I see Harley is in the building. He wants to call in. We got someone on the line. Val, go ahead. Hold on, let me turn you up. Go ahead.
Yeah, you told me don't have my TV on or phone when I would call you, so I went to my computer and went to StreamYard, and it still ain't working.
I'll sit down this week with you and figure it out.
Okay, yeah, but what the young lady said, I can't see her name because I'm on my phone now, that they are in the recovery mode. I'll let you know that when I call down there to Virginia Police Department, and then the sergeant from the team called me. You remember that? I was trying to get you on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
They're all in recovery mode, but of course they're not going to admit that. It's only so much they can let out to the public, because like she said, they're in the recovery mode.
Right.
The evidence that they done collected out of that house, it may have been clean when Black Lives Matter, whoever the candidates went over there. Yeah, but when had the sisters in them been in there? Had the detectives left because they had that place on lockdown while they still were collecting evidence? If there was no crime committed there, they would not be out there 4 and 5 times for 2-3 weeks at a time collecting evidence. But something was done in that home. And that's where they started from, and that's where it ended at.
Right.
When he took them out, I don't know. I told them around October. They say November. I said, no, think of the witching hour. I would think October. You know why I haven't called back? Because I've been recovering from something, because I was really getting too involved with it. Since not involved, but letting my emotions get the best of me due to this baby. And
Right.
not just all of it. So I have to sometimes take a break. And after I had the heart attack, I really had to take a break, because I was calling every week.
Right.
Every other day. So I just had to kind of back off for a minute. But I say, hey, I get myself and get a okay from my doctor. I'm back at it. I don't stop.
Okay.
And I mean, this baby, he needs to be recovered. And the family just hiding, or you guess that was supposed to call in today. I hate that they're not, whomever it was. I don't want to talk about them because I don't know. But when you have some information and you're not chasing cloud and stuff, because we're not over here, it's about the babies over here.
Right.
if you gotta come before, then just that you don't. But hey, you got something to say, go ahead and say it. Say what's on your mind. See something, say something.
Right.
Now I'm gonna get back and go cut my TV on so I can look at it on the TV. You need me, I'm in the house.
All right. Thanks, Val.
All right.
What she was saying, I don't know if you guys heard her, but she has been steady calling down there, and she lets me know when she calls down there, and they have spoken to her several times, and she's agreeing with you, Miss Blue, that it's probably a recovery. We've got someone on the line right now, Betty.
Good evening, everyone. I thank the ladies for coming up. They've given us some great insight. I think that Shannon, I may be saying her name, Miss Blue, and Team Cody. I appreciate both of you. I would love to agree with you, Team Cody, that the baby is alive and kicking and doing well. But I just, I don't know. I just don't have that. I don't feel that. I would not do that to my brother or my sister to take a child to teach them a lesson.
You know what, Miss Betty, you made me remember the other question that was asked, because I was told that there was another person in the house. There was a woman in the house with Corey. Is that true?
I highly doubt that. That was on the little rumor mills that he was seeing another woman. From what I'm being told from my sources, he was a loner. He was an alcoholic. If there was a woman, he may have been going out to see her and leaving the kids in the house, by themselves to go and, drink and things like that. I don't think there was another woman in the home. I'm not dismissing it either, but I don't think it's likely that there was. And the neighbors haven't reported even seeing, other adults in and out of the home. They're only reporting seeing him in and out of the home.
Right. Go ahead, Miss Betty.
And so that takes me to the young lady said that, she thinks the sister came in and may have taken the one child out. Well, he said at 2 a.m. he saw the little boy. So then the sister came in while he was asleep. He didn't hear nobody moving around. I just, and why him? Why Corey? Why Cody?
Right.
Why not? Even though Cody might have been moving around, why not just put him back to sleep? And tell your brother, look, I came through your house the other night, or I came through the house last night, and the baby was up. What are you doing?
Right.
Or I came through there, or stayed there until he came back, because I don't think he was in the house. I think he left out at 2 a.m. But I'm like you, sweetheart. I believe he was gone long before then. And I believe that this is involving someone else, and he's trying to do his best. I don't think this just happened. I would like to know if Cody was his child.
Yeah, there again, that was another rumor that Cody may not have been his child. The people that have been informing me that's kind of close to Cody's maternal family, Cody and the other children were his child. Someone did say that the maintenance man had said that he saw a woman. Again, I'm not ruling it out. I think, like the chief said, that Corey was very, very smart. I think Corey had watched the Noah Tomlin case, and I believe Cody went missing, and he picked the date that he picked to say that, you know, he went missing for a reason, because he knew that it may be impossible to recover his body. Hampton is surrounded by beach water that leads out to the Atlantic Ocean. Um, he could have been weighted down with something. So even if he was disposed of in water, if he's weighted down, then it would almost be near impossible. The rip tides are extremely dangerous there. We do have sharks in that area from time to time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so and then you have the steam plant that wasn't that far. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think Corey is extremely smart. Like, and he was in the military, retired. He was whatever E7 or whatever,
Mhm.
a sergeant or whatever. Um, and so I think we give him too much credit for not being as smart as he is. I think he planned it out.
Yes.
So if he planned it out, that means other people have to help him make it happen.
I think they may have helped him unknowingly. And I think right now they are, I think now they know, and why they aren't coming forth with what they do know, or maybe they have, I don't know. But I would hope that they would come forth with some information. I really think the family holds the biggest key to this getting solved, because they know more about his temperament and the things that were going on with him being a violent drunk, um, him having outbursts of rage and anger. These are things that the family witnessed and know about, and they're not speaking about it, and they're not telling law enforcement about it. The only one that really spoke about it or even tried to report it was Cody's mom. Um, I don't know why he would pick Cody out of the other children to be the one to get rid of. Cody may have been the more rambunctious child, you know, one that probably wasn't as fearful of him. Um, you know, and I think he did this out of spite to Cody's mom.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe her story. I believe that they broke up, but you know, he had been asking for his children to come and visit, and she dropped them off for a visit and say, "Hey, this is the date I'm gonna come pick them up because we're going to Disney. I have a birthday party." And when she goes to pick him up, he relocates to Hampton. And if you don't have an address for someone in the state of Virginia, you can't serve them. Yeah, if
But did
so,
she make any reports?
yeah, the
Oh, she
family is
did?
saying, yeah, and there is documentation to prove that
Okay.
she had contacted CPS, Child
Okay.
Protective Services.
Okay.
She had contacted the police,
Mhm.
and she was trying to get to court. I feel like she could have done maybe a better job, but at the same time, if you have children with someone, you don't think that they would harm their children. I don't see anything that shows he may have been autistic, but now because someone said something about him being autistic, that comes up a lot. But being that the spectrum now is so wide, vast, to include like ADHD, I could see him being, you know, just probably the more difficult child out of the four. We all have them. I have 5 children. There's absolutely one I have to have a little bit more patient with than the other. So I could see that, but I don't know if he was autistic in the traditional sense where he was nonverbal, because you see pictures of him eating and smiling, and some things that come with autism is no facial expression or flat affect. And you really don't see that in Cody. There's one picture of Cody where he's in the wife beater, what we call wife beaters, the white tank top and the blue swim trunks. And if you look at that picture, it's my right and probably Cody's left. To me, that looks like an old black eye. If anybody ever analyzed that picture, it looked like he had been hit in the face. He also has a scar here.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like they were abused children. They were abused and neglected. And we know at minimum, based off of Corey's own admission, they were neglected because he may have been undiagnosed. I will give you guys that. Um, he may have, but we don't know that. But you could definitely see that picture. It looked like an old black eye.
Right.
And that always stuck out to me. That picture is very scary, even for me to look at, very triggering.
You know what bothers me is that it seems like no adult is it's like this baby didn't exist. Like he's non-irrelevant, and that hurts my soul. I get the violation and all of that. I get all of that, but even to the family going so silent about this baby, that bothers me to no end. Not even to have somebody speak about how, just like you just described him, that he was from Bushes and he may have been a little artistic. Nobody's talking about him.
Right.
From day one, nobody said how he smiled, how he did nothing. It's like he was born and then nothing.
Yep. I mean, especially from the family, you would think, it's really been all about protecting Corey. And that's what really upsets a lot of the community, because she's right. None of them could come out and say what his favorite color was, or he loved to look at Coco Melon, or, they don't know anything about this child. And because of their toxic family dynamic, instead of saying, you know what, we as a family dropped the ball, we didn't know nothing about this child because our brother or my father was this, they are so busy trying to protect that they're protecting Corey, instead of just being honest and transparent and saying, you guys are right, we didn't know anything about these babies because he was a drunk. He kept them behind closed doors. We've invited him to family functions and he wouldn't show up. We've invited the children. He would come up with excuses. None of them, they're all saying it's irrelevant. Those are the words of Corey's sister. You and your brother were so close, but you don't know nothing about your nephew. Nothing.
Well, the one thing that I remember, and I think Rhoda was live, and the sister said that her ex-husband called and spoke to the children and especially spoke to Cody the night before.
That was determined to be a lie by law enforcement.
Okay, then they need to lock her up.
Yeah, she does. She's been lying, and I agree. She needs to be locked up for the stuff she's been doing. She's been trolling these groups off of Facebook, and early on, she was trolling the groups. And if someone threw a theory out there, she would go like wildfire, posting it and calling people out and saying that was the likely thing. And I could just only hope and believe that law enforcement has been watching and they're just stockpiling things on her, because they do that too. They'll sit back and let somebody have enough rope to hang themselves. But she's contradicted and lied so much during this whole situation. It is sickening. It really is. How do you know if it's your ex-husband? How do you know he spoke with those children? How do you know which child he actually spoke with? And you don't even live in the same area as your ex-husband.
Okay. And so when I spoke to BLM 757, he said that the police did take everybody's phones and see, what information they got off of them and gave it back to them. And they didn't find anything.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they didn't find anything. They probably just didn't share what they found. They probably took it and got, because you still have to get a warrant from the cell phone companies to be able to then, track the towers and the text, the in and out text messages and things like that. That doesn't mean they didn't find anything that was useful. Cody didn't look like he was loved. He always looked sad in his pictures. He did. Yeah, so BLM, his credibility with me is kind of shot, because I know of instances where people, because of his activism and things he's said and done, has gotten people locked up. So I take what he says with a grain of salt when it comes to dealing with the families, because a lot of times he does do it for clout. He does it for money, and things like that. A lot of families stop using him after a while once he shows his true colors. They don't give him references and things like that. I think with Corey's family, they're sticking with him because he gave them a theory,
Right.
and it's a theory that they'll try to run with, but it's been more about Corey and his rights and not the rights of Cody. Like, what rights do a child have? And I think this will change the law in Virginia. I hope it does, with
Right.
regards to the rights that children should have.
Right. Somebody in the chat is asking you, are you related to Cody's mother?
I am not related to Cody's mother. I have never seen or spoken with Cody's mother. The information I have is from a person that seems extremely credible, and they are close to the family. So I'm speaking with regards to that information that they shared with me.
Okay. Betty, do you have anything else for this young lady?
I really appreciate you, Miss Blue, for the insight that you've given us this evening. Thank you so much. I have nothing else, and I do. I appreciate you and everyone in the chat. You have really given me a different way of looking at this, and even though my heart is still heavy. So you have a great evening. SB, I'm gonna jump down so someone else can come up. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening to me and having me. And I believe there's definitely strength in numbers when it comes to prayer. So at this point, everybody just keep Cody in their prayers, and keep the police as well in their prayers with regards to finding him, and the people that's searching, keep them in your prayers as well. But I'm
I've got a couple of things, just a couple of things. Give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
The first thing I want to let everybody know, because I'm looking up the E7 in the Army, and they're saying that it's the first non-commissioned officer the U.S. Army ranks. And there's I see a couple of people's calling in, and they're saying, oh, where was it at? I just read it and I was like, oh, wow. Okay, here it is. A sergeant of the class, a first class, is a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army as DOD, pay grade E7. A sergeant first class receives a monthly basics pay of starting at $3,294, and then after time into it, up to 26 years, they will eventually get $5,921 a month. That's if after they retired. And they're saying that he said, I thought that he was an honorable discharge. And BLM says, no, he's retired.
Yeah, he's retired military. He was getting military retirement benefits, which included, I think he got the home with the VA benefit. He, of course, he had VA medical benefits.
Right.
And they also give you like a housing. I'm not military or anything.
Would that be a reason why
site.
everybody's always, these are your kids, because his kids is under his medical insurance and benefits?
You would think so, but what I'm being told is the kids weren't going to the doctors regularly, or, he just really wasn't taking care of them like he should have been. I think there was one instance of one child being in daycare, and then to his credit, I will say COVID happened. So no one was in school or really at daycare. It was, everybody was at home. So it was just kind of hard to tell. And if he even added those children to his benefit, because that would have gave him more money, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how, and even now I thought about this too. The reason he may not tell what happened to Cody, as long as he hasn't been convicted, he still gets his check every month from the military. Mm-hmm. And that check is going to pay for that house.
Right. So, and another thing I want to ask, God, I mean, things is coming in my mind and things, but I know there's two people trying to call in, and I had to stop them because I lose my thought. But go ahead and call in, you guys, you too. But what should we do now? I mean, a lot of us don't live close to there.
Right.
What could we do? What should we call the mayor and call the? I mean, what should our line of action be to
Um,
help? Because right now nobody's really talking about this kid.
yeah, no, it seems to have died down, right?
Yeah.
I think those that can and are able to stomach it and they are close to the area. I'm not close to the area. I just grew up there. I think those people should continue to search if that's what they're, because not everybody can search. It's not everybody's gift or whatever, but if you feel like it's in you to search, go right ahead. For the rest of us, I think we should continue to watch and also piece together information. You know, a lot of crimes get solved just from people like you and I just putting things together because the police are looking at it all day long
Right.
and they may miss something and we may be the ones to question something to have them look at it with a different set of eyes and boom, it just opens the floodgate of solving everything, right? So I think as things do come to mind, that's why the hotline is there. Call the FBI, call Hampton Police and say, hey, can I speak to the lead detective? You are able as citizens to ask questions. You can call in to the police department and say, is there a update on the case? I'm a concerned citizen. Anyone can do that.
Right.
And I think people do need to do that. They do need to know who the lead detective is on the case. Because at this point, we are Cody's family. He doesn't have any family
Right.
outside his mother. His mother is very concerned for everything. And she is praying. But she was told certain things that she can't speak on right now, that she's anxious to speak on, but she's being told by law enforcement, and she also has an attorney that is kind of barring her from speaking. Um, so in the meantime, we need to be a voice for Cody
Okay.
and speak out and act like if it was your child or your relative missing, if you would call and want weekly updates. Hey, I'm just calling again this week for an update. I personally don't see anything wrong with that.
Right. Okay. Call her on the phone. Go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead.
How you doing today, SP?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Miss Phyllis?
I'm doing okay. I want to say hats off to Miss Blue. You have provided us with a lot of good information.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you, but there's a problem with calling into the police department. I've been calling. I never get connected to the detective. I even sent the chief emails. There's no return. So what do you do when there's no communication? It's not that people aren't trying. I believe other people have been calling there too, not just myself. And then I have a question for you. Have you ever heard? I came on really late because I got another engagement. I'm kind of bouncing back between the two of you guys. But has there been anything on record with Corey having mental problems? I mean, what happened? Did something happen when he was in the service or after he got home that he's this drunken alcoholic now? That's just not normal. And then the neighbor said that a lot of times, he saw the boy jumping up and down on that dresser in that room. So were they always just kept in?
I want to answer your first question about calling in to the police department. Next time when you call, try to ask the name of the actual lead detective and their direct extension. I will also try to research and give that information over to SP if she wants to, her next broadcast, post that. I can only say the only reason Hampton Police may not be giving direct answers is because the FBI is involved. So you may have to call the FBI. That's I want to say that's the middle district or the Middle Eastern District of Virginia to see. And again, I'll get these phone numbers and I'll share them with SP. Far as his alcoholism, I can only assume from what I've been told it could be PTSD from the military. Um, I've been told he wasn't really in combat areas during his service time. Um, but that doesn't mean it wasn't stressful. My oldest child is in the military.
Right.
And he picked up drinking since he's been there. And I'm like,
Right.
don't become an alcoholic, but that's kind of what they do to pass time. And
Right.
it's just the thing with alcohol, you don't know what drink makes a person the alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can't speak to like the timeline as to what happened to make him who he was. I can only go based off of what I've been told that kind of lines up with the family is he had an issue with alcohol and he had an issue with anger. So it's possible he had PTSD from the Army.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you go by what the police are still, they're pretty solid that they still have the right person that attempt. So my thing is the answer is going to lie a lot with those children, just like in the California West Wars. And nothing really has changed their stand. So I just think that maybe he got drinking and maybe drinking more than usual. And, in the habit of leaving those kids, maybe when he came home, something went off. And he did something to Corey. And he, what am I going to do now? He couldn't see the big picture. All he could probably say, I'm going to do time for this. Something's going to happen to me, and that ain't going down. Right. So then he covered this up. And I don't believe that family does not know anything about those boys. You can't tell me as close as him and his sister were that she never saw those kids or she didn't get updates on those kids because they're just too close. And if they're that close, and the way she liked to run her mouth, she done told somebody else in that family some stuff too. Mm-hmm. So I'm like you. I'm thinking that the police are just letting her hang herself. Mm-hmm. Let her hang herself. Mm. But I pray that this doesn't take as long as it takes for the California boys. Yeah. Because that will just be horrible. Yeah. That's what it looks like, to me. Right. He's no longer with us, is what I firmly believe. I don't believe the sister went in there and took him out. There's no grounds for that theory. So, and I could be wrong. It's just my personal feeling. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that there's even one person out there that can lend one shed of light to this case. That they not keep putting that light out, that they light their candle, come forward. They don't even have to give their name. Just come forward and tell what you know, because even the smallest thing might turn out to be a big thing in the investigation. Right. So I really commend you again for coming on tonight. I hope it won't be your last time. And SP, thank you for inviting her to be on the show.
Oh, I invite everybody, but our guest did not show up, so I appreciate her coming in here and following the case, because we gotta reach out there. And like I tell everybody, I'll speak to anybody when it comes to these kids, and I just want to hear more information so I can try to know what I can do or who I can call. Do I need to make some phone calls?
Person that you are, SP.
Huh?
I said, that's the big-hearted kind of person that you are. And I didn't know this wasn't the actual guest because, like I said, I just came on just a little while ago.
Right, but I appreciate her. Yes.
Anyway, thank you, SP, for all you do, and thank you, young lady.
Thank you. Somebody said, is Cody's mom military? And that was another rumor out there. The mom has never been military. She is a healthcare worker. And then someone asked me, why did I use the word rambunctious? That again is just my opinion and my assumption of things. There was nothing put out there by police or by Corey. I was just assuming why this particular child was chosen over the others. Could it be he was more difficult to handle because he was rambunctious? But That's just the word that I chose to use. So I didn't want to confuse
Wow.
anyone about that.
So you say the mother was never in the military?
No, she was not military.
Okay.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You got to ask some questions, because we'll keep going on with the information that we have, and we're like, hey, is this true? Is that true? So we can ask somebody.
Wow. Right. Yeah, she wasn't. She's a home healthcare worker. I want to say nurse or whatever, but she works in healthcare. I don't know what her exact role is in healthcare.
Wow. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I don't know why he didn't show up, because we wasn't gonna beat him.
He didn't want this smoke that was going to come from a lot of us that's in the audience. I'm recognizing a lot of names from the group and from the area that can definitely, put out there, and for the sake of your platform, and also for the sake of me having to explain certain specifics of previous clients of mine. I won't go into detail about certain things that he has done, but he's just not who he says he is, and he didn't want the smoke from those of us that knew. Several people hit me up. It was like, make sure you're on SP's show because it's a surprise guest, and we're all on the edge of our seats, like, who is this surprise person?
Yeah.
And when you said it was
I would have
him,
gave him the platform and just let him speak, because you can learn a lot if you just sit back and then dissect it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it was a time where I really had his back and really wanted to see him succeed. But when he started just really doing things that was damaging to the collective community as a whole, and making things about himself, I personally feel like he has other issues, that cause him to be a certain way. Right. I think sometimes his heart and his intentions is in a good place.
And you know what? Even everything everybody say, I'm gonna be honest with you. He's still out there looking for Cody.
Exactly.
And I can appreciate it.
Exactly. And I do appreciate that part of him. And I do hope he continues to do that. And sometimes, when we have our lanes, we just tend to stay in our lane. That's not my lane to search, so he can stay in his lane. But when he starts up with the helping Corey, and that's when I'm like, no, because I'm the mama bear for Cody, as well as all these other mamas that he has adopted all over the world. And it would be just like if someone did something to one of my childs. That's where I would draw the line. If you're going to search, stay in your lane and search. But when you start helping Corey come up with defenses and excuses for the family, then that's kind of where I have to say, Right. But I do.
And that probably what scared him, because I said, let's keep it about Cody. And I don't know what scared him.
Okay, that part.
Yeah, I didn't want to accuse here's someone from Virginia area calling in. Hey, this is SP.
Hey, SP. Ask the young lady, has she heard anything more about the child coat?
About the what?
Child coat that they found.
The child coat. Have you heard anything else about the child coat that they found?
I have not, and they have not even. They've been very quiet about that, which leads me to believe it could be something.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a result of one of the teams, because there's multiple small teams.
I thought that was the BLM team.
I don't believe so. I want to say it was the young lady that not Team Cody young lady, but she mentioned the other young lady and her friend. Okay. I want to say her name is Kay. I want to say that was the lady, because she recorded and went live, and they've been very quiet about that.
Oh,
and
okay.
What people need to realize, if evidence is found and the police is quiet about it, that's good news for us, because it means that it could be a potential lead, and it could have been something that's going to be helpful for the case. When they get evidence and they say, oh, it's animal bones, or no, the shoes don't match him, then it's nothing. But they've been very quiet about that. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Miss SP, while I got you up here,
mm-hmm.
maybe we should call the mayor
Well,
Virginia.
okay. Well, you know, the guy that I was talking to, BLM 757, he said that the mayor never speaks on these situations.
Well, hey, shoot your shot. That's all I
Okay.
gotta say.
Okay.
Shoot your
Well,
shot. Because
we'll
I've been trying to call Talbot myself, and there's nothing.
okay.
There's nothing.
Well, we will do that. We will reach out. We're gonna all come together and get the numbers and everything, and just start, you know, blowing it up until somebody says something. Somebody gonna say something to us.
Yeah.
There you go. And young lady, thank you for coming on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening and having me.
All right. I appreciate you coming up and just like I said, we want answers. We got questions. We could have been. I was thinking. I was like, why nobody was at that town hall meeting with questions? If they say no, you're just not going to come up here and accuse us and argue and holler and scream and say whatever you want to say, which is may be true, not true. I don't know, but just give us a question. That's all. That was the rule.
SP, I wish I was on your live when you had spoke on it, because I agree with everything that you had said. There were questions that could have been asked at that town hall by Aubrey, BLM 757, and also by Rhoda, and I feel like they dropped the ball.
Yeah,
they could have asked some amazing questions that would have gotten us some answers, or if anything, put the police on kind of Front Street. You know what I mean?
Right in front of everybody. Mayor, why you not going to say nothing? You know, I mean, we voted you in. You know what I'm saying? You can't get voted out. Now, what is your perspective of what's going on, and is they handling things right? Do you think so? Are you backing them up? Because I want somebody to be responsible for what's done happened to this child.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like that town hall meeting would have been, I don't know why it was not put out there. Even when I saw it, it was like an hour before it was scheduled to happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was not advertised, or maybe they have town halls all the time and people don't show up.
They had it on the news, and then the young lady that just called me, she lives in that area. She sent me the flyer, and it was on Facebook, and we put it on the community board, and we spoke on it, and nobody still didn't show up. And I was like, all these people saying that they wanted to go search. Why nobody was there?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah. And I think people, you know, they get used to certain ones that actually go out there, and then they could conveniently participate via YouTube or Facebook. I wish if I was closer to the area, I definitely would have drove and was out there. But yeah, I think that was an opportunity, and we kind of missed that. It would be great to put pressure on the mayor or the police chief to give weekly updates. I can only hope when Corey does go to court that we're updated. You know, there's some new breakthrough that will come as a result of his court hearing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming up. And Team Cody, what was the other team that young lady was speaking on?
I don't know. I know it was Team Cody. I forgot what her name was. Val, and I'm not sure of who else came up.
Because we're all going to have to come together and talk and if someone finds something or something, we gotta bring it together. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you know something and I don't know something, I'm still over here looking over here, and they say, hey, you know, so. Now there was one other thing that BLM wanted to try to do, which I can understand. I kind of can understand his frustration because he's out there looking, and I guess the police is just, you know, like not saying that they're doing anything. You know, he's saying, hey, Water Team Inc. and, you know, these people, and this kind of like, you know, the searchers or whatever, that do make people feel bad when you talk.
I think when they made the statement and specifically shouted out Water Team Inc. because of the resources that they come with and the history that they have. but they also mentioned, and everyone else that has been doing the searches, they did not name each and every person. And to to just be real, Aubrey, his character, he's the cause of why the police and certain individuals in the community don't like him and have an issue with him. And he's the only one that will be able to change that perception of him. And he's going to have to work hard to build the trust back, because a lot of people in the police department and with the community don't trust him.
Right.
And if it's going to be about Black Lives Matter 757, or if it's going to be about community activism, a lot of that comes with humbling yourself. I have to humble myself around police officers and attorneys and things all the time. I can't say what I want to say, but do I get on the phone with some of my friends and be like, that MFer and da da da? Yeah,
Right.
you got to have an outlet for that. And the outlet isn't always in front of cameras and out in the middle of the road stopping traffic without permission. He feels like he's above the rules because he feels like his activism is above the rules, but you still have to follow certain rules and things. And until he changes that perspective about himself, the police will always treat him as a circus show.
Right. And and I know he's probably done this for a while, but as he grows into being an activist, he'll grow. He'll grow to be better.
It seemed like it's got more. Only because I know things that you guys don't know, but it has gotten worse. It really has.
Well,
yeah, because in his early stages, a lot of people were there for him, which is why it's gotten so bad. Black Lives Matter, the organization, is like, you cannot say you're affiliated with us,
right.
because that's how much damage he's done. That's the extent of the damage he's done.
Right.
So, and he's only getting worse,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take anything from him. He's out there looking for Cody.
Yeah.
And I pray for him just like I pray for everybody else out there looking for him.
Because what if since he's the only one out there looking for Cody, what if he finds Cody?
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody be like, but we still don't like you anyway, and you doing too much.
I hope they can separate.
You know what I'm saying? But it will break the case.
Yes, it will break. And I hope people can really
bring justice to that child.
Yes. I hope people can objectively look at it and separate the two. You don't necessarily have to like a person. Like me, I personally don't care for him, but I find what he's doing commendable and respectable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I will never take that from him. And if he is the one, then God bless him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same with the water team, same with all the others that are out there. I don't personally know them. Yeah. A lot of them never searched or did any form of activism, and this struck their soul to the point that they can't let it go. Right. So, anybody out there doing that type of work, they need respect. It's all his little extra stuff, but it is what it is. You can't change that, but I pray that something does happen good, from this, even if it's recovering Cody. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. Make sure you text me so me and you can stay in touch.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to text you as soon as we get off of here.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Hey, everybody. I know this was longer than I thought, but man, we got a lot of information. I'm just so grateful God just stepped in and brought people into the chat that knew information. And see, you guys, if the person that was supposed to show up would have showed up, it would have been okay. Anyway, you guys, the ones that gave in the super chat that I didn't, I will make sure we go back over this. Freddie will go back over it for me, and we will make sure that it is honored and put in there. And but you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I've got a lot to think about because I did not know that the young lady, Cody's mama, was not military. I mean, there's things that I want to go back and and because while I'm here, I don't get the understanding until I go, oh, they said this person said that or whatever. And we would definitely, I want to thank everybody that showed up, called in, concerned. I appreciate you guys. I see you, Kenny Earl. I see you in the building. Thank you for showing up. I wanted to tell everybody thank you. This child's life matters, you guys. His life matters. Cody's life matters. And I just appreciate everybody that came in here. Maybe we next time when we pull up, which will be Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time, let's come up with something, either get flyers down there or we're going to make phone calls and we start doing them. But some kind of action's got to be done, because if you don't say nothing, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. All right, you guys, be good, be safe, and always, you guys, be nice to each other. Bye.